Man United have capped off all their home games for 2026 with a victory. We're going to talk about players and matches, my opinions on the players on both sides of the teams. But first off, we got to say congratulations to Casemiro for capping off his Old Trafford appearances. A cult hero at the club. The first half of the game, Man United were really in control in that first 20 minutes. Obviously, in the first 20 minutes, what we see is we see a Bruno Fernandes cross into the box with a wonderful touchdown by Luke Shaw, and he waits because most people there probably think Luke Shaw should take the ball first off the volley, but now Luke Shaw waits, gets the second time finish, puts Man United up 1-0, and I'm thinking right now, oh, we're gonna blitz these guys, right? But after later on in that first half, in that 20-minute mark, the game kind of dies down. And in my opinion, obviously Benjamin Sesko is injured, so we are playing with this makeshift type front three of Cunha and Buemo and Ahmad. Right? I say makeshift because I don't think Brian Mbuemo is the best starting striker or even the best backup striker. Right? Even the second best backup striker that technically that we have. Right? It kind of looked in a way like how PSG would play, where Dembele would occupy a left, and he would move to the right, and he would only come central when we're kind of outside the 18-yard box, right? And that's what Brian Mbeumo was. Brian Mbeumo was allowed to go left, go right, take up different spaces, right? But my first thing that I thought about this front three was, right, it's Brian Mbeumo and Amad Diallo, right? I've kind of named these two as inconsistent the player is Brian Mbeumo right now, and no confidence the player is Amad Diallo, right? Brian Mbeumo breaks his goal drought of 12 games today with one goal. And in my opinion, the guy should have had three goals today, maybe at minimum two goals today, in my opinion, right? With Bruno Fernandes putting him in, with Cunha putting him in, I think he should have gotten at least another goal before he got out. And Amad Diallo, I didn't see Amad Diallo much in this game. Right? Amad Diallo really wasn't as potent, and he hasn't been as good this season. His confidence is very low, and I thought a good game, a good game against Nottingham Forest would put him in a good smooth movement, probably over the offseason and into the next season. But we got to see how he plays next season. I have it noted down that Brian Mbeumo has missed three chances today and two big chances. Right, on Foot Mob and other places, it's three big chances, but I think it's two. Obviously, the first miss coming from a beautiful slip-in ball by Cunha into Brian Mbeumo, one on one against the goalkeeper, does the hard work. Right, he does the hardest part of the action, which is to get the ball around the keeper. And then once he gets the ball around the keeper, hits the post, and that's just it's gut wrenching, right? It's immediately gut wrenching because now you're thinking, should be up 2-0, but we'll take it because we are moving a lot. We are moving heavily attacking this game. We're fine with that miss at the moment, right? His second miss comes in the 46th minute or 45th minute. I can't remember which one it was, but and the second miss, right? Cunha puts the ball across the box, tries to get it to Brian Mbeumo, whoever's there, right? No one gets it. Amad Diallo gets it late at the edge of the box or late at the far right side of the box, crosses it in. And I thought it was going to go to Bruno Fernandes, falls to the feet of Brian Mbeumo. Brian Mbeumo is what, 6 yards away from the box, right? 6 yards away from the goal, skies it over, right? And then I'm thinking, no, no, not again. We can't fall to this inconsistency again, especially for Brian Mbeumo, because Brian Mbeumo had this beautiful patch where he felt like he was inevitable for us to score, for him to score for us, right? In I believe it was December, November, and January a little bit, he felt like he was inevitable to score for us. And since then, he has not been the same player. right? And this game encapsulates why, in my opinion, when people talk about, oh, Bruno Fernandez having so and so amount of assists in open play, Bruno Fernandes had 8 chances today, right? 8 chances, 8 chances created and 2 big chances created. You can't convince me that this is Bruno Fernandez's fault, and I don't want to put all the blame on Amad Diallo, right? And so I'm on Amad Diallo. I don't want to come here and just cook Brian Mbuemo, right? Because he's been a good signing for us this season, but this game is where imagine we draw this game, or that Cunha goal doesn't get given, and now it's 2-2, and it's like it feels like we should have won the game 4, right? We've had a smooth 5 6 minutes about Brian and Bemo. Let's get off Brian and Bemo. Let's talk about some other bright spots of the team. For me personally, I thought our best player today was Cunha. I thought Cunha played beautiful football, right? And Cunha kind of had a slow start for us, right? Well, when Brian and Bemo was firing, Cunha was kind of behind. But now, coincidentally enough, Brian and Bemo was not firing, and Cunha is the one putting in great performances. Gets his goal, right? Controversial goal, but does get his goal, and I think he played beautiful today. But to forget about Cunha, I thought zero mistakes the player. The encapsulation of zero mistakes was Harry Maguire. I don't think Harry Maguire put a foot wrong guarding Chris Good, guarding Igor Jesus. I don't think he put a foot wrong. I think he was perfect. He commanded the back line. He was the last defender always when Lissandro Martinez goes forward, or Diego Dalla wants to go wide, or Luke Shaw wants to go wide. The only man back was Harry Maguire, and he I felt so comfortable when he was back there by himself, right? I I wasn't in the fear that he would get outpaced because I thought he held his ground against the defenders. He controlled where they should go, and he was such a big presence. And I think Lissandro Martinez also had a great game, but he does get outshined by his defensive partner. But to get on to the second half is when this game opened up, right? The game fully changed where now both sides are kind of in this attacking clash, right? And I think it also helped that Morgan Gibbs White said, forget me playing this left wing. I'm gonna play where I want to go, right? I'm gonna go where I want to go. If I want to go right, I'm gonna go right. If I want to go left, I'm gonna go left. And he had the free range to go to the left, to the right, to the middle, and him and Elliot Anderson and Dominguez, in my opinion, were the 3 best players. Those were the 3 best players, right? Elliot Anderson, Elliot Anderson's cameo today reminds me of Michael Elise versus Man United at Crystal Palace, I think 2023, I believe, but like the season just before he goes to Bayern, and people talking about Michael Elise had a great cameo for Man United. And Elliot Anderson, if he does come to us, this cameo was insane, right? This cameo from Elliot Anderson, where in that second half, especially when they were down that one goal and looking for the goal, Elliot Anderson said, "Yo, get out the way and give me the ball. I'm gonna get the ball and I'm gonna find us the goal scorer." Right? His assist to Morata for the goal. He gets the ball. He gets the ball from the corner. Amad Diallo is behind him. He tells Amad Diallo, "Move, man!" Flings Amad Diallo off him. Has so much time and space to look up. See Morientes back post, whips it. Perfect ball. Senna Lamens can't do anything, and he knows that Morientes is going to be the first person to touch that ball. Morientes puts it back post. Second assist. Second assist, a little bit outside the box. He gets the ball. He gets the ball, and I don't know why. Right? Man United, this game, defensive wise, right? I think we did good when balls were coming inside the box and long balls and through balls against our team. But when when we were kind of holding the defensive line, we were a little bit too deep, and we let Elliot Anderson kind of pick up spaces like in this area right here. He was so free. a little bit a little bit behind the box. He was so free, and that gets him a beautiful pass, allows him to scan the box, see Morgan Gibbs White coming into the area, and he can find Morgan Gibbs White. Morgan Gibbs White, first time finish, bottom left corner. Right. I don't know if it was like Mainu and Casemiro, the communication, or they were expecting maybe Bruno Fernandes to fill in that space. But our DMs were so far back that it allowed Elliot Anderson and Morgan Gibbs White so much space in that area, and that was our biggest defensive flaw, in my opinion. To talk about some more players, Bruno Fernandes is now tied 20 Premier League assists, not behind, but aside of Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne, two all-time greats of the Premier League, right? And this game wasn't Bruno Fernandes' best game, his most extravagant game where he played his best and he did everything. But this was a Bruno Fernandes game, in my opinion, that could be described as passion, want. The want to break this record, to cap off a season where we just came off finishing 15th, to now coming off and finishing third. The want that the whole team has, right? And I was making this joke when the 20th when he got his 20th assist. I'm thinking because he gave Ahmad Diallo the ball on the right side, on the right wing, I believe, in the second half. And Ahmad Diallo, instead of making a pass to Cunha, making a pass to Brian Mbeumo, said, "No, I want to take this shot," because I think these attackers want to give him this assist record so badly, right? I think Amad Diallo wants to get it to him. I think Brian Mbeumo, I think Acuna want to get him this assist record so badly. And I'm just seeing we might, in this last game that we have, which is, I actually don't know who our last game is, shockingly enough. Brighton, we might see everyone fly with shots. I think all our attackers might just start taking shots if they get a pass from Bruno Fernandes, just to see the ball hit the back of the net and to get this mythical assist record that some people say Terry Henry is cursed, to get it just broken. Boom, 21 assists. Because I feel like once that 21st assist happened, the floodgates will open. We'll score so many more. But I feel like that last one for Bruno Fernandes will be the hardest one ever, right? It will be the hardest one ever. And on the light of Michael Carrick just signing a 2-year contract to manage Man United, right? And I'll get my opinions on we should sign and how I feel about Michael Carrick being the manager later in different videos. But Michael Carrick has now just tied Ruben Amram for I believe I can't remember if it's most wins. Oh no, he just tied Ruben Amram for the not most wins, but wins at Old Trafford. Michael Carrick doing this in, I think, 15 games. Ruben Amram doing this in like 49. But that's a conversation for a different note. If it was me, sack him again. If it was me, sack him again. If it was me, every person that said, "Why are we sacking Ruben Amram?" needs to make an apology to Michael Carrick, and then make an apology to Ruben Amram for saying, "I followed you," because I don't know what people saw, right? But Michael Carrick has done the best with what he has, but now this is going to be a different season because now we are in all four competitions next year: Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Premier League. We're going to see how Michael Carrick has to manage when he's probably going to have a much deeper squad, and now he has to manage the fact that he's not gonna have the advantage or disadvantage of playing once a week, right? We'll see how that goes, right? But for now, he is my manager, and I'm going to back Michael Carrick because he's saved us, right? He's helped us out in such a big way, and I'm glad that we've at least given him the chance to show what he can do with full reign of the club and full reign of transfers. Because if Man United are going to go into this game where our subs are Patrick Dorgu, Joshua Zirkzee, and Mason Mount, we're cooked. We're actually cooked, right? And when our fullbacks are still Diego Dallo and Luke Shaw, finished, right? Because most teams, right, they have one guy off the bench or one attacker off the bench that's at least close to or equal to some of the starters, right? PSG, it's Bradley Barcola. Barcelona, like Fermin, Dani Olmo, Rafinha. Sometimes he might come with the best, or Rashford now when he's been playing. Right, teams have adequate depth at certain positions where you have an attacker that's good enough to start or come off the bench whenever, right? And Man United, we did not have that because when Brian Mbuemo and Cunha came off, it became a shit show in a sense, right? Where the quality of play dropped so much. Where Joshua Zirkzee gets the ball from Bruno Fernandes multiple times. By the way, Joshua Zirkzee gets the ball at the edge of the D and or at the edge of the box, gets the ball, turns around, and maybe he's too slow, or maybe he isn't anticipating uh, a tackle coming in, but the ball just gets taken away from him so quick and so easily, right? And even besides that, Dorgu gets a beautiful chance given to him by Bruno Fernandes, and maybe if that's Cunha, maybe it's someone else, or maybe it's a little bit of a better backup left winger. That goes put away, right? And Bruno Fernandes has his 21st assist, and we win this game 4-2 instead of 3-2, right? That's my biggest concern from this game. The attacking depth that we have is woeful, shocking, right? Because because Sesko being out, the backup would have probably been Amad Diallo, and Amad Diallo is still far ahead of these two, even with him being inconsistent, and that's a problem that has to be given. And another problem is these two fullbacks, right? It's these two fullbacks. Obviously, Luke Shaw gets this goal, and Man United have said that they want to get a new fullback in the summer, right? They they put out the article. We want to get new fullbacks. We want to get new midfielders, and fullbacks is a key thing, in my opinion, that we need to rotate out, right? Because right, Diego Dallo pocketed Morgan Gibbs White as best as he could, right? But Morgan Gibbs White, no hate to him, isn't Cavaskelia. He isn't Lamine Yamal. He isn't Rafinha. He isn't even right a top winger. And Diego Dallo's not gonna have to go and defend top wingers for us in the Champions League. And I don't think he's good enough going forward and defending that we could probably get someone better that he can change the game for us, or he's the best option that we have. Because there's no way you can convince me that the best fullback option that we have now and also buying is still Luke Shaw and Diego Dallo. No, no, they gotta go. They have to go. But I think that should be the whole game wrapped up in a nutshell, right? Closing statements. Elliot Anderson. My goodness, what a performance! An audition, a performance, whatever. If he doesn't go to Man United, I'm pissed. But there's still other players we can sign. But this guy had a beautiful performance. Morgan Gibbs White, you got to get out there. You got to get out there. He was supposed to leave to Tottenham last season, but he will most likely leave this season. At the end of the season, probably, right? Brian Mbuemo finally gets his goal, kills his goal drought, right? Amad Diallo was still waiting to get back to the old Amad Diallo, hat trick against Southampton. We're still waiting for that. But great performance from Cunha, great performance from Lissandro Martinez, and a beautiful performance from Harry Maguire, right? If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe. We are trying to drop more daily videos. New video coming out next week or this week again. drop your opinions on the game, what you thought, if Man United should sign Elliot Anderson, and who else you think we should sign. But yeah, we're out. We'll see you.